Who owns IndiGo? The complete story behind the airline ruling the skies. Imagine this. You switch off your morning alarm, open your phone, and see the news that once again hundreds of flights have been cancelled. Airports are crowded with long queues, people are angry, and social media is flooded with complaints. And amid all this, one question keeps coming up again and again. How did the 𝐮𝐸 airline that operates around 2,100 flights every day, controls nearly two-thirds of India's skies, suddenly get caught in such a major crisis? And the most important question, who actually runs IndiGo? Let us tell you that today IndiGo has become a symbol of India. That blue aircraft, where everything, from the boarding pass to the seat, looks simple and clean. An airline that turned air travel for the average Indian from a luxury into a necessity. Yet today, the 𝐮𝐸 airline is going through one of its toughest phases. Today, IndiGo holds more than 60% of the domestic market. Over 2,100 flights operate every day. Around 39,000 people work directly for the company. Running operations at such a massive scale is nothing short of a miracle. But when even a slight pressure builds up on the system, this very scale turns into the biggest challenge. To understand this entire story, we need to go back to the beginning of IndiGo. The year was 2005. The Indian aviation industry had not fully opened up. Air travel was still considered expensive for the common man. At that time, two people dreamed of building an airline, one that would fly on time, keep fares low, and offer hassle-free service to passengers. On one side was Rahul Bhatia, a quiet, low-profile businessman with a deep understanding of aviation and travel services in India. On the other side was Rakesh Gangwal, whose career had been shaped in international aviation. He had experience working with major companies like US Airways and United Airlines. One had an understanding of the Indian market, the other had global aviation experience. This combination became the foundation of IndiGo. IndiGo did not begin with a grand show or heavy marketing. No luxury promises were made. There was just a simple model, low cost, high efficiency, a single aircraft type, fast turnaround time, and a strong focus on on-time performance. That is why, in a very short time, IndiGo won the trust of passengers. But behind every success story, there's also struggle. And in IndiGo's story, this struggle did not come only from the market, but from within as well. In the beginning, everything was fine. But as the company kept growing, differences between the two founders began to emerge. Differences over decision-making, disagreements over control, and questions about the functioning of the board. Gradually, these differences started becoming public. It was alleged that Rakesh Gangwal raised concerns about Rahul Bhatia's control through interglobe enterprises, related party transactions, and the transparency of the board. This was no longer just a personal disagreement. It turned into an issue of corporate governance. In 2019, the matter became even more serious when Gangwal directly filed a complaint with the regulatory authorities. After that, the dispute reached the courts and even London arbitration. There was a time when people began to wonder, would IndiGo break apart? Would India's most successful airline get trapped in a battle between its own founders? But in February 2022, the story took a major turn. Rakesh Gangwal resigned from the board. He clearly stated that he would sell his entire stake in the market over the next 5 years. After this, he also gradually began selling his stake. With this decision, the control of IndiGo came entirely into Rahul Bhatia's hands. Rahul Bhatia is not the kind of businessman who appears in TV debates or makes statements on social media. He prefers to stay away from the media. Simple clothes, a calm nature, and a habit of making decisions quietly in the background. Yet, this is the person who today runs India's largest airline. Rahul Bhatia studied electrical engineering at the University of Waterloo in Canada. His father, Kapil Bhatia, was in the travel business, running a travel agency called Delhi Express. This means aviation and travel were not a new field for him. But the scale at which he took IndiGo is, in itself, extraordinary. When it comes to Rahul Bhatia's wealth, the figures are staggering. In 2023, his net worth was estimated at around $3.5 billion. But after a massive surge in IndiGo shares in 2025, his wealth crossed $10 billion. Interestingly, this amount is higher than IndiGo's annual revenue and many times more than the company's total valuation when it was listed on the stock market in 2015. He owns 3 hotels in Gurugram and has received several prestigious awards. Yet despite all this, Rahul Bhatia is known as a leader who stays away from showmanship. Perhaps that is why whenever IndiGo faces a crisis, people suddenly want to know who is actually behind the scenes. Now the question arises, why is IndiGo facing such major operational challenges today? According to the company, there are several reasons behind this. Small technical issues, schedule changes due to winter, bad weather, and increasing congestion in air traffic. But the real pressure increased where the rules changed. From November 1, new rules related to flight duty time limitation came into effect. Following an order from the Delhi High Court, restrictions were imposed on pilots, landings between midnight and 6 a.m. Weekly rest periods were increased. This had a direct impact on crew availability. When you have aircraft, but not enough crew to operate them, flight cancellations become inevitable. For a large operator like IndiGo, this challenge becomes even bigger. Because here, even a minute's delay creates a chain reaction. One flight gets delayed, the next flight is affected, then the crew schedule gets disrupted. And before you know it, dozens of flights are cancelled. Despite this, it would be wrong to say that IndiGo's growth has stopped. Even after Gangwal's resignation, the company set several records. In 2023, IndiGo operated more than 2,000 flights in a single day. This was the first time for any Indian airline. In other words, despite internal disputes, operations continued. Today, full control is in Rahul Bhatia's hands. In February 2022, he was appointed Managing Director of Interglobe Aviation for 5 years. The challenge before him is not just about earning profits, but about maintaining trust. Because the aviation business does not run on numbers alone, it runs on trust. Every cancelled flight is not just a cancelled ticket, it is a broken expectation. Someone misses a wedding, someone misses a meeting, someone misses an exam. That is why IndiGo's current crisis is not just a corporate problem, but an issue connected to millions of passengers. But if history teaches us anything, it is that IndiGo has always managed to emerge from difficulties. Whether it was pressure from fuel prices, the shock of the pandemic, or internal disputes, the company has pulled itself together every time. Today, the question is not whether IndiGo is in crisis or not. The question is whether, under Rahul Bhatia's leadership, this airline will once again be able to uphold trust. Will India's largest airline emerge from its toughest phase even stronger? Because flying in the sky is not just the job of an aircraft. It is the responsibility of those who make decisions on the ground. And today, IndiGo's story stands at a point where every decision can become history.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources, news from various news agencies, opinion polls and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.